All right, are you ready for round two?
Round two, and I get to be the interviewer.
Okay, so yes, welcome back. We are doing round two, part two, whatever you want to call it, of this little interview podcast style series. And yes, Mom is going to be...
It's called Keeping It Real with Kim.
Period. Yes, we are switching roles, and she's going to, not necessarily, well, yeah, I guess, interview, ask me questions, whatever you want to call it. So, Mom, I'm passing the mic to you.
Pass the mic. All right. So, here's my question.
Which, by the way, I don't know any of these questions so far, and she didn't know what questions.
And I articulated and created them. Articulated would be asking you. Okay. What is a memory that you think of when you reflect on your childhood?
Oh my gosh, there's so many memories. You guys did such a good job of raising me. Like,
Pat myself on the back.
yeah, really, pat yourself on the back. Oh my goodness. Really, there are so many memories that come to mind. I mean, camping would probably be a very core memory. That was like one of my favorite things to do growing up. And we would go camping, I don't know, it felt like all the time. In our little camper, the Coachman camper. And yeah, I loved riding bikes, skateboarding, walking, hiking, all the things.
We did have a good time. That was fun.
And I think that's why I still love camping to this day. I think it's so, I don't know, nostalgic, I guess. I think that's really why I like it. I mean, I love being outside and being in nature, but it is definitely nostalgic for me and just makes me, I don't know, feel young again. I mean, you guys always took me to like sporting things like basketball. I remember I did like AAU travel team and stuff like that. And I don't know, going on, Pigeon Forge. If that is one thing, my family is very traditional type of.
Yes.
And so we did Pigeon Forge. I could not even tell you how many times. And
it was like home away from home with Pigeon Forge.
She never would let me like go off on my own, but like at Dollywood she would, because she's like, oh, I was like, you're home, like whatever. So yes, going to Pigeon Forge, and then we started to go to the beach. That was like our two places. So when people would be like, oh, like where have you been, like where have you traveled to, like in college and stuff, I'd be like, you know, not that we didn't like travel a lot, we did, but it was just to the two same places. Very, very routine, traditional.
We went to different beaches, but
yeah, once we got a little bit older, but definitely like Pigeon Forge, and I still like, I love going there too. I think it's very nostalgic for me as well. Dollywood, the Apple Barn.
Oh, the Apple Barn's
the
so
old
yummy.
old meal breakfast with the little banana nut muffins.
Yeah, we had certain places that we always went. It just felt like you didn't go there if you didn't go to those specific places and do those certain things. Like there's the professor's golf. Like we always have to golf at the
diamond. What was it called? Like diamond.
There's a diamond course, and then there's some other kind of course. But yeah, we always felt like we had to go there.
Oh yeah, and I don't know. There's there's so many memories that I have, but definitely like camping. I guess maybe that's why I like to like travel. But yeah, camping and Pigeon Forge. Sporting, sporting stuff. Going to church as soon as we get home from church. Yeah, this is a good core memory. As soon as we would get home from church, my mom would make like chicken and dumplings, and all like everybody in our family would come.
Oh yeah,
Sundays, and eat together, really chit chat and talk. You'd eat, and then you go to the front porch.
Yep, and then you'd have a cup of coffee,
and then watch the Reds.
Yeah,
on TV, and yeah, I guess that's probably some good core memories for me. I had a really good childhood and upbringing. I loved growing up where I did. I don't know. I just did.
Okay. This one's
here's
the fake microphone.
Yes.
Okay. If you could pilfer, that's a Eastern Kentucky word, pilfer, go through anyone's closet, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I mean, for me personally, it would probably have to be a Kardashian. I just love them. I love their style. Probably Kim's, and I don't know. My original thought was Kylie, but my second was Kim because she has Kanye, and I mean, I don't know. He's such a good like stylist, and I mean, they have anything.
Are they still together?
But they have anything and everything they want. Any kind of designer anything they have. So yeah, I would just love to just sneak peek in their closet. The shoes, the bags, all of the accessories, the clothes, the dresses. I mean,
what do you think they do with those once they are finished? They probably only wear their clothes like a couple of times, if that.
Yeah.
What do you think they do with their clothes?
I know they do have the Kardashian closet that is like a resale.
I probably couldn't even afford the resale.
No, they have like this. It's Laura Lee does it a lot. That she'll buy from a Kardashian closet, and like one pair of shoes will be like $1,000 or something like crazy. They did have like some Birkins on there, and it was like $60,000. I don't know, it was crazy. But
I'm just wondering, like, can you go to like where they live out in California and go to the Goodwill
and
find one of their outfits? I'm sure not. I'm just
I mean, I'm sure they do donate and all that. But another thing is Kim, she like archives all of her stuff. Like she literally has so many storage units and she archives everything. She'll put it in like a clear bag with the picture of like,
when she wore it.
Yeah, and she's archived everything and like saved it, so maybe she can bring it back out 20 years later or whatever, or for like her kids,
or maybe a museum someday they could like put it on display, or it could be auction it off for charity, or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, even in one of their recent episodes, she goes back to her archives, and I think it was a recent episode, but yeah, she goes back to her archives to see, like, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but she went back and was like looking for something to wear. I don't know, but yes, sure, of course, the Kardashians.
So I'm wondering like how big their closets are, because I have a decent closet, but I have to share it with the husband. So
no, it's probably like bigger than our house, I would say. I mean, I would just assume. I feel like their closets have like a nice like couch to sit in, and so I don't know. Yes, any of the Kardashians. Any of them, but probably Kylie or Kim's. I would say. I know that's such a basic answer, but.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean,
I would just love to sneak peek. Not necessarily that they're my style, but I would just love to look.
I just wanted to see how they have it organized and like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or the Matilda, I can't remember her last name, the Pinterest girlie. I would love to see
her closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has a lot of like staples.
Speaking of Pinterest, do you love Pinterest? I love it. Like I've been on Pinterest for a really long time, and I have so many pins, like. You wouldn't even believe how many pins I have and how many categories I have. Like people, I showed it to one of my friends recently and they were laughing because I have a pin for everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and talk about, that's just iconic. Pinterest is iconic. They've been around for
a very long
time. Since probably before Facebook, and now they're even becoming like more relevant.
I just love it. I just love it. I love ideas, and then like I will do this though. Do you ever pin things and then you don't really go back and look at it?
I definitely used to in the past, but I don't know. Here recently, it's becoming one of my absolute favorite social media apps. Like I just get so much inspiration, and even like food recipes and stuff. Like
that's exactly where I go for food recipes. Like for camping and things, I just type in like camping recipes, and I get all kinds of great ideas from there. And like the apple bar that I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
like,
we're doing an apple bar.
That definitely, like I've all the different things that I have tried. I've tried a lot of Pinterest stuff. This is becoming about me. It's always about me. Okay,
period.
So in continuing on, what is something that you like to do with me? Speaking of me.
Oh my gosh, literally anything. I'm obsessed with you.
Can I be your momager?
Really though,
keeping up with Kim.
Really, I love doing everything with you. I love shopping with you. Aww. I feel like you just have good energy, and I don't know, you're my mom.
You laugh. Your dad doesn't laugh at my corny jokes, but you always laugh at my jokes. And
we both like to have, just a fun time.
Just have a good time. And like I'll say to him, husband, Laken would have thought that would have been hilarious. And he's like, okay. He doesn't get my humor. I think I'm pretty funny sometimes. When I'm around you, you laugh. When I'm around him, I'm like, he's stoic.
I don't know. I do like to have a good time, so I don't know. Yeah. Everything's light and fun and airy, but probably shopping. I don't know. Well, let me take that back. Shopping, I don't know. I also have trauma from shopping with you as a kid. I know Landon definitely has trauma with shopping with you because we would start early in the day. Mm-hmm. And then they would be like 5 minutes until closing, or 15 minutes till closing, 10 minutes till closing, 5 minutes till closing. We are now closed. And they would literally have to unlock the door to let us out.
I am the person at Hobby Lobby, they turn the lights out on.
Shop until you drop, for real.
I really do. I don't think there's very few people, there's probably very few people who could stay the course with me when it comes to shopping. And I don't necessarily purchase. I just love to look. I love when they play music, and it just, I love pretty things. I love to look at things. I love to see, I don't know, like the latest trends, and I love to see like what the next season is, you know, because they'll put things out and you're like, oh, that's so exciting. I love to look at that. So I don't know. I do love to shop, and
yes, you do. If we have to like go somewhere after, or if we have plans, I'm like, Mom, put the blinders on. Put the blinders on.
It's like, you hated going with me to like Hobby Lobby.
Oh my God. And that's why like I go to Hobby Lobby now, but I still like, I don't know why, it triggers me sometimes. I'm like, I hated going to Hobby Lobby. I hated going, what was it? BMOS? BMOS.
That's really old. I found a dress from there not long ago.
I hated going there. Kirkland's. I hated going to Kirkland's. There was another.
Home Goods is, I love Home Goods.
I do love Home Goods. But yeah, shopping, I don't know, just having fun with you. I feel like we just have a good time together.
We do. I think just because you're open to doing stuff with me, because like, I'll have to tell your dad.
You like me because I'm just very like, whatever, yeah. I'm down for a good time. Dad's like, but he's a homebody. He kind of likes to stay home.
Yeah. I have to wrestle him out the door. We're going to have fun. Remember what that means? FUN. Fitches under.
Okay.
Under novel. I don't know. We'll come up with an acronym.
Okay.
Next question. What do you do when you want to pamper yourself? What's something that you do?
To be honest, I really struggle with pampering myself, relaxing. It's really hard for me to clock out. Even like this is a weekend and I'm like, Mom, all right, next video, let's do this, do that. And even just like when I am trying to relax, it's like, even when I'm like, put my phone away and I'm trying to relax, I'm like, I come up with like video ideas, or like, oh, I could take a picture here, or I don't know, just I feel like my brain is always like, I've been telling Jake the past few weeks, I'm like, I'm just overstimulated, and I do it to myself. But I guess I just love to be outside. I love to walk. Like if I want to, free my mind and like relax or whatever, going on a walk, being outside. I mean, literally for my birthday, we went hiking. I just love being outside. And I don't know.
So you don't go get a massage. Like I get massages.
I wanted to get a massage this week. I didn't, but I was really close to getting one. But yeah, I mean, I like that, but also I'm very frugal. And
you're very frugal. She doesn't get that from me.
I'm like, oh gosh, $100.
You can't take that money with you. Yeah. The way I see it, I'm going to be leaving it to you kids. You guys are going to spend it on what you want anyway. So why don't I just spend it on what I want while I got it? Mm-hmm.
That is probably one of my biggest struggles in life, is that like trying to find a good relationship with money. And I've been better at it. It's just recently we're like trying to save up for a down payment for a home and stuff.
Well, and that's serious stuff. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of money until we refer to it as toys, our toys. Mm-hmm. We didn't buy any toys until we had our home paid for and we had, all that secured. So I can understand like wanting to save your money up for a down payment and that kind of thing, because that's very important.
But yeah, I like to relax by walking, being outside, I mean, stuff like that. And then even like just chilling, walking around Home Goods, like, I don't know, just different things like that.
I like that too.
But yeah, it is really hard for me to relax. I'm always stressed.
Speaking of stress, what household chore exhausts you?
Washing dishes.
Thinking about it.
Washing dishes. I will, if it doesn't fit in the dishwasher, or if it's not dishwasher safe, it's not getting washed, or I will leave it to Jake. I hate dishes.
Really? Do you think it's because you have to stand there?
I don't know.
Or is it the muck of the food? Like, when food just gets nasty and, you know.
That and just standing there, and I don't know, I hate it so bad. I tell Jake all the time, like, I would rather do like almost 100 loads of laundry than do one, like, than do a few dishes. That and folding socks. I hate to fold socks, but I would rather fold socks than wash
Can
dishes.
I give a tip about socks? Do you remember when you were little and I bought you guys those lingerie bags that you wash, that you put like your laundry, like your bras in and things like that?
Lingerie, you're actually
not lingerie. Like I bought these bags, the mesh bags.
Yes, the mesh bags with the zippers.
Okay, and I hung them on just hangers, like pant hangers. Clip those on and hang them on the back of your door, like the hanger, and then you unzip those and you put your socks down in there. Then zip them back up. I'd unclip them and I'd wash them, and all of your socks would be in your bag, and Landon's socks would be in his bag, and put them in the dryer. They'll dry, and then all you would have to do is put your socks together. You wouldn't have to go through like his socks, your socks, my socks, dad's socks. You know, it was a more simple way for me.
Oh my gosh,
to do
I couldn't even. You just gave me so much anxiety. I was just thinking about mine and Jake's socks, and that just adding two more sets of people that I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah,
but it's not even like separating. I just don't like to do it because all of my socks are the same. I have all the same long. Socks.
I try to buy socks. Look at you, how flexible. I try to buy long socks, not long socks, but socks that are alike, simply because I can't stand that.
No, I
hate doing socks.
But I would rather fold socks than hand wash dishes.
I hate putting laundry away. I don't mind, of course I don't mind washing it because you're just putting it in there, and I don't mind drying it because you're just putting it in the dryer. I hate putting it away. I just hate it.
That doesn't really bother. I don't like hanging them, but if they're like going in the drawers and stuff, I don't care. I do laundry like all the time.
I will say this. Having my laundry room beside my closet, like it's a part of my closet, was one of the best things about this house that I love. I mean, seriously. And if like they're ever interested in wanting to know about building houses, I mean, we've built 3, and we could really talk about that, but that's for maybe another time. But just saying, if you're in the market for looking for a house, it's a great idea to have your laundry room be a part of your closet or right next to it.
I feel like what y'all needed before you had the situation that you have with the closet by the laundry room is the basket, the organizer that we have. It's a rolling laundry basket and it has sections, and I don't know, that's just the best thing. I love it because we'll just it's in our closet and we just roll it out and roll it to the laundry room, and I don't know, I love it. Shout out, I think it's the Honeydew or something.
Oh yes, I've partnered with Honeydew before. And I love their stuff. I have their organization things in my kitchen drawer and underneath my sink. And
we had it on our wedding registry, I think, but it was so expensive on there. But on Amazon, it's really cheap. So I'll try to link it down below if you guys want it. But.
I just have separate baskets and they're labeled. Like I used to be so bad. I mean, like I used to be really, I don't know, like OCD or whatever, but I went so far as to hang a sign up that said a place for everything and everything in its place. Thank you, management, and hung it up in the laundry room. I used to be really type A. Not so much anymore.
No, not at all.
Thanks to medication. Okay. All right. So, let's just think a little bit about your name, because you know when I was naming you, the nurse came back twice in the back in my room, and she said, "Well, what are you naming this baby?" And I was like, "I'm not exactly sure. Can you come back?" So at her second time coming back, she said to me, "You know, you really have to name the baby before you take it home." And I was so worried that I was going to name you something that would be a horrible nickname, or your initials would spell a horrible name, or it just wouldn't fit your personality or who you are, or it wouldn't sound right. I didn't want my child to hate their name. However, I need to know, do you think your name is a good fit for your personality?
What, Brianna or Laken?
I ended up messing up your guys' names anyways. I fretted so much because you only get so many children and you only get that opportunity that many amount of times.
Yeah.
So you name this kid, this baby, and that's its name for the rest of its life, unless it wants to change its name. But I'm just curious. I mean,
I don't think Brianna does, but I think Laken does. I do.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I absolutely love Laken. I love that. That's my name.
Yeah.
I get it all the time that like someone's first like Laken, like they've never heard
really,
that name.
I think that's so odd
Yes,
because
I
there's
do too. And
after I named you, there were so many Lakens, and they're spelled so differently. Like they're not even spelled as your name.
I think it's crazy because I literally graduated with two. Well, I would have graduated with two other Lakens, but one of them moved. But there was so many Lakens in our school. Like it's so crazy. Like even to this day, even I think a few months ago, or not even a few months ago, but somebody was like, "Oh, that's such a cool name. You're my first Laken." That happened in LA, and I'm like, "Hello, LA." There's so many people, but yeah, that's happened to me so many times.
That is cool. I know, like, I always kid and say I name my kids after the Land O'Lakes butter because I have Laken and Landon. Or I'll say I love nature so much that I name my kids after the two main sources of nature, water, lake, and Landon. Mm-hmm. So, but, maybe we could talk about how we got to your name eventually someday, but it's just really, I think it's definitely a good fit for you, and that's what I wanted. But your dad and I always said when we were dating, if we had a little girl, we would name her Laken. So it's kind of how you got your name.
I absolutely love it. I don't know. I just do. Brianna, no. I wanted to change, whenever I got married, I wanted to change it to Laken Fitch Hammond, but you have to do like a whole court. You have to go through court and everything to get it changed.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Because you're changing like your legal name.
So see how important it is when you have a baby? My advice to you is to like really, really pray about it and think it through because
girl, I'm already so indecisive, and I tell Jake all the time, I'm like, that is going to be like, oh my gosh,
it's a major decision. Mm-hmm. And then I was 21. My frontal lobe was barely developed to come up with a name for my child that's going to carry it all the way through its life. Like that's such a huge, and I'm very indecisive too. So
yeah, well. Jake's boss's wife and just Jake's boss, they waited until literally birth to find out the gender, and I'm like, she's kind of talked me into wanting to do that, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, like I guess you would probably just have to have a boy name and a girl name picked out, but it's just like that would be like one of the only reasons I would want to know is to like really think about, I don't know, like picking a name, because I'm so indecisive.
With you, it was difficult, but when it was even more difficult after I had you, and then of course Landon came along, because once you become a teacher and you're in the classroom, because I really wasn't in the classroom with you when you were born. Once you become a teacher and you're in the classroom, you come up with all these. You have all these different students, and they all have these names, and you're thinking, oh gosh, I can't name my child that because, it's really, I love all children, but there are some that, just, whoo. And then you think, oh, I like that name, but there's so many of them, there's so many. So it's like, it becomes even increasingly more difficult if you're in the field of dealing with children, because you see how many kids have this name and what their personalities are like. And I really do, your dad and I were talking, there are certain names that fit personalities. When you think of them, you think, oh gosh, yeah, that's a regal name. And they have a very, maybe a more like serious personality, or so just certain names fit. And I was just curious if you thought your name fit you.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, here's another fun one. Okay, so I am learning more about dancing and rhythm. I have no rhythm. I'm working on it. I'm creating more neural pathways in my brain by dancing, because seriously, I'm really not very coordinated when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I could not be a cheerleader because I'm not. If my right hand's doing something different than my left leg, like whoa, look out, or right. I struggle with it, and so my little dance teacher, Miss Bonzo, is very patient with me in dancing. But we have this little thing that sometimes if our day is getting really stressed, we will you know, she'll look over at me and she's like, okay, let's dance it out. And we'll find us a song and we'll dance it out. So if you were to dance it out, what song would you play?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. Oh my gosh, it just depends on what time of the year, what time of, what I'm feeling.
Like, what would be a good one right now for fall and this time of year that you would just be like, let's dance it out. Let's just go for it. Let's get wild and crazy.
I would have to look through my playlist. I don't know.
That's a good question too. So, like, if we were to look through your playlist, like, what kinds of music would we find?
You know what's sad? I don't really listen to music that much anymore. It's
wow.
Yeah, it is kind of sad.
Music is
I know I love music too, but I don't know.
My saving grace. I love music.
If I'm like cleaning the house or something, I would rather turn on like a YouTube channel and
really. No, I want my music on, and I want it blaring loud. Mm-hmm. I want it like almost vibrating the walls. and the funny thing is, we have this open concept, and so like your dad wants to watch television, and I want to like have the music on. No, he wants to watch television. So that's the only thing about an open floor plan.
Oh, I know what's my song.
Okay, what would be your song if we were going to dance it out?
For right now, and you would probably be like, oh, what? But before, my song would have been that Minion song, This Rainy Day, that one.
Oh, okay.
That would have been mine for the summer because I was absolutely obsessed with that song. But my song for right now would be the Jordan Davis song. Oh my gosh, I lost what it's called. Okay, hold on. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, look it up.
But it's by Jordan Davis, and it's not necessarily a dancing song at all.
So you can't dance it out. There's certain songs you can't dance it out to.
But I literally headbang. I don't know why it's so crazy.
To Jordan Davis.
Oh, what my world spins around. I don't know. Just the chorus. I'm like, yes. So.
That's hilarious.
That would be my dance it out song. I just love it. Or anything like, I don't know, just a basic like oldies kind of song. Not oldies, but
See, because oldies for me is like 60s and 70s, like 50s, 60s, 70s. Those would be referred to as oldies.
Oh, yeah.
Your guys probably oldies are my songs that I grew up with. That's so depressing.
No, I mean, I don't know. There's so many. I have a happy songs playlist, and so probably anything from there.
Really? Mm-hmm. So, okay. Here's another question, which is more so about me again.
Welcome to my life, everyone.
Welcome to her world. Okay, but in all seriousness, because like you asked me some really deep questions, so I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
And this is, maybe something you could pull from for even yourself. Okay, what did I do as a mother that helped you be who you are today, or helped you be successful?
Okay.
So.
I mean, maybe it is just me. I was very independent, but you gave me freedom. And I think that that's very priceless. And I think that's also why I love my job and I don't think I could work for anybody else. It's because I value freedom so much. And I feel like maybe you struggled with that growing up and that's why you gave it to me. But yeah, freedom, 100%. And just like supporting me. I mean, obviously supporting me, but like not shutting down like my
right.
Because whenever I wanted to do like blogging or whatever, you weren't like, no, you can't do that. You can't make it into a career. I mean, I
think part of that was because I didn't really know what it was.
Probably
because I struggle with telling people. They're like, okay, so what does she do? And I'm like, well, she takes pictures and people pay her. I'm like, and then I've later learned, I say she's an influencer, and then you have to tell them what that is. But
I feel like you and Dad did a really good job of not like being like, you guys were always like, just go for your dreams. And I also think, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you have to do, what makes money. But you guys were like, no, like either find a balance of, doing what you love and making money,
right.
or just do what you love.
Exactly.
And money doesn't really matter. And
money will come to you. If you put God first, money will come to you. Mm-hmm. And the thing that we did instill in both of you is find something that you're passionate about, that you love, and it will become a hobby, like me with teaching. It goes back to me again. But seriously, finding something that you enjoy and that you love and that you can have a hobby and get paid for it. You know, that's important so that you don't get burnt out in life.
Okay, we got cut off, but we're about to finish it up. Anyways, what I was going to say is you probably wouldn't think this, but just being kind to everyone and always, you know, just being kind. Because especially in my industry, talking and emailing with other people, you know, you can probably just be like straightforward, whatever, or even going to an event, like you can just, you know, I'm here for business, whatever. But there are so many people that jump from different job to job, but it's in the same industry. Like this past week, I was at a DSW event, and the girl that invited me and contacted me, she was actually originally with David's Bridal. And so if I was like, oh, like, you know, rude or whatever, she would have never invited me to a DSW event. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely important in my career.
Yeah.
So
we did try to instill that. You know, I always said, don't ever mistreat anyone and be a friend to everybody. I don't care what kind of, you know, I don't care if they're from money, not money, you know, even if they're not the most, what was that noise? Welcome to our house. I don't know. But even if they're not the most, like, you know, some kids come to school and they're not very hygienic.
Oh, we have a story about that. I won't say their name, but this is what I mean. Like, she would say, be kind to everyone.
And I meant everyone.
This particular person, everyone knew that they smelled and just would try to literally, like, it would be almost like a, I don't know, on a TV show, like a cartoon, people would like run away from this person. But yeah, my mom would always make me hug her. Yeah. And like, I mean, she's a sweet girl. And I mean, she just smelled.
Well, and a lot of times, you know, children can't help their situation.
That's very true. And but I mean, when you're younger, you don't realize that. But yeah, of course, like now, I'm like, dang, that I wish I would have been even more nice to her or them, whatever. I don't know. So yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I always think of is that's somebody's baby. Even when I was a principal and I had to deal with kids, and of course, you know, middle school kids can be cruel to each other, and I would have conversations with them and I would say that's somebody's baby, and you know, and that's my student, and
you just never know what someone's going through. I mean, even, you know, to this day, it's like you just never know. People put on a front and everything's highlight reel and all that, but anyways.
Yeah, and you have to think everybody's carrying an emotional baggage, or they have an invisible backpack is what we call it in the educational realm, because everybody's got something going on with them. You know, some people it's more obvious and others it's not. So I'm glad that you are, and that's something that you can take into your, you know, you tend to parent how you were parented. My mom always taught me that too, to love everybody, be good to everybody, and don't get into drama.
Yes.
And I always said, don't talk about anybody because
it comes back.
It does.
And yeah, her being a teacher, I literally could never get away with anything at all. So.
I would know.
Even I think one time I did like get in, not in drama or I just got in trouble, and of course she would find out like immediately. So
yeah. So, you know, I think those are the things that I prided myself on, and your dad does too. Those things that you mentioned, it's kind of funny because those were like some core things that we wanted to instill in you and Landon, you know, and good job for me and your dad. Yeah. Was just making sure that you were kind, you know, because hurt people, and you have to understand that. So I'm glad that you're kind. Okay, so if you were to sum up where you are right now in your life, as far as let's just think ahead to the next 5 years. Let's say it this way: in the next 5 years or so, because I have about 4.5, almost 5 years before I retire, and of course, all these questions revolve around me in some manner. So, but
our next episode is what it's like growing up with a narcissistic mother.
But really, if you're I know you're a planner and you like to set goals. So like in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? What do you think you're going to be doing?
I don't like this question.
I know it's a very hard question because it's hard to predict.
Not necessarily hard, but it's like I feel like you almost limit yourself when you answer this question.
Oh, okay.
But I will answer it. I would love to maybe potentially still do what I do. Maybe a podcast with my mom. I would love to get more into like not real estate, but just buying into more real estate, and just investing in like properties or like rental properties. Maybe another business. Maybe pregnant or have kids already. I don't know.
5 years flies by. When you really think about 5 years, you think, oh, okay, that's 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's a long way off. But in truth, 5 years is fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah.
Look how we were in the COVID mess, and we were deep in the COVID mess, and now it's like COVID
2020 is almost 3 years ago, and that feels like yesterday.
And it's just it really does fly by. And I was just thinking, do you really, when you're planning and thinking, what is it? What are your goals? And it's so important to dream and have goals. Like I always always did that. Even as a teenager, I set goals, and I don't know. I think it was just something. I don't know if I was necessarily taught to set goals. I don't remember there being a specific teacher or lesson about goal setting and how you reach your goals. I don't know. I always felt like that there was something more for me to do. Even when I was a kid, I always felt different than other kids too. Like, all these other kids, they just seemed so immature to me at times. And I always felt like I was older. But I was actually one of the younger kids in my grade. I graduated at 17, so not because I was, brilliant or whatever. It was just I was a late. I was born in September, so I was like one of the last born. So
yeah, but definitely all the things I said. But I would love to get into like a charity of some sort through our church. I would just get more active in our church, like
that's
small groups and stuff. Because we did find our church recently, and like we're still warming up to it and all that. But yeah, I definitely want to get more involved in that. I would also love to, I've technically been out of the country, but it was through a cruise, so I'd love to go to Europe. I don't know, there's so many opportunities. I don't want to limit myself, but those are.
Well, the sky's the limit. I mean, you're at the age where, you're living your best life and you can do whatever you want to do. And that's why I always told you, when you said, I want to move or I want to travel, or I want to go, I would say to you, go ahead and do it before you get, settled down and you have children, and it then becomes, you spoke of being a limited type, you don't want to limit things, so it does limit things.
Is definitely one of my
freedom.
Definitely one of my number one. Freedom and safety are my number two.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so important. I feel like it's,
I would love for you guys to live closer to us, but I don't even want to touch into that.
We don't want to touch into that. Maybe when I get my RV, I can swing by. Because that's something that we might want to do someday. But it's been cool asking you these questions.
Yes. I was really nervous, but I thought they were all going to be about me moving away.
And that's growth for me, because I really didn't even come into question with me. Yeah, look at Mama. Continuing to grow, continuous improvement. That's what I'm about.
Always being uncomfortable.
I'm trying.
But anyways, we're about to get off here and go to the pumpkin house.
I'm so excited.
Do all the fall things. So if you guys liked this little video,
Can I do it again?
Oh yes, go ahead.
Ring the bell, ring my bell. Ring the bell.
And that's Kimberly Fitch, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys want us to talk about any more topics. I know we interviewed each other, but I would love to deep dive into some certain topics next time we get to sit down. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.
Bye.